Hello, first grade. Today is lesson 92 for phonics, and we are going to learn another vowel pattern today. This one is a little bit longer, but we're going to do a few practice together now. And so I have a longer word on my board at the top. What do you do if you come to a word that you don't know? What should you look for first? You look for two different things. You look for a suffix or a final stable syllable. Is there a suffix at the end of this word? Suffix like S or ES, ED, ING? No, there's not. Is there a final stable syllable? No, there is not. Okay, so the next thing we look for is any obvious coding. Do you see anything that we can code already? Maybe something with the C? Right, we need a K back on that C. All right, and so vowels are the next thing that we look for. How many vowels do you see in this word? There are three, A, I. There are three vowels in this word. And so when we have more than one vowel in a word, we need to write the vowel pattern. So I'm going to label the vowels with V's. Right? A vowel pattern begins and ends with vowels. So we look in between the vowels to determine the pattern. So how many consonants are between the A's? There are two. So I'm going to put C and C for consonant. Okay. So what kind of pattern is this right here? It's a vccv pattern. Very good. And where's the best place to divide the vccv? So this is the vccv pattern, and so we're going to divide between the two consonants. So I'm going to draw that line. Okay, so we still have part of the word left, and so we need to look between the next two vowels. How many consonants are there? There are two. So we're going to put our consonants, and we divide between the consonants. Very good. Okay, and so now look at this vowel pattern. Normally, we just have the normal vccv pattern, but that appears twice in the same word, and the middle vowel is used in both patterns. So now that we've divided this word into syllables, we need to place the accent. So we're going to try the accent at the first syllable. Okay, so now we're going to code the vowels. So how should we code the A? We're going to mark it with a brevity because it's followed by a consonant. Very good. So this is going to say ah. Okay. At. At. Let's look at the next A. It will be marked with a brevity. Okay. And the next word with a brevity. Okay. So let's look at this word and see if we can figure out how to say it. So this is at, an, lan, at lan, and we have ick, tick, Atlantic, Atlantic. Good. And the accent mark is actually moving to the second syllable. Atlantic. Okay. Now let's look at the next word. So often the only way to know which syllable is accented in a word is to try the accent on every syllable and figure out what works. So let's look here first, and do you see any obvious coding? There are no suffixes and no final stable syllables. We have combination ER, so we're going to draw an arc underneath. Now we're going to look for the vowels. I have vowel E, vowel E, vowel E. This is another V, C, C, V, C, C, V pattern. This is a 3-syllable word because we're going to divide between those two consonants, and we're going to divide between those two consonants. And so this E should be coded with a breve because it's between two consonants. This E is coded with a breve. It's between two consonants. And the last E is already coded as part of the combination. And so September. Yeah, that one sounds better. So we're going to put it in the second syllable. Okay. So now let's practice dividing some nonsense words with the vccvccv pattern, just like we've been doing, okay? So this isn't a real word, but we're still going to divide it, okay? So we're going to mark the V's because there's no other obvious coding. So we have a vccv. We're going to divide between the B and the N. Then we have another vccv pattern between the P and M. This A will get a breve, the I will get a breve, and the O will get a breve. Can you read this word with me? Fab, nip, mop. Put it all together. Fab, nip, mop. Is that a real word? No, we call it a nonsense word, but we can still divide and code it because we know the patterns. So let's try one more. Any obvious coding in this word? I don't see any either. So I have vowel E, vowel I, vowel A. Two consonants between those two vowels and two consonants between those two vowels. This E gets a breve, the I gets a breve, and the A gets a breve. Trep, sid, lap. Trep, sid, lap. Is that a real word? No, it's a nonsense word, but we can use the vccvccv pattern to help us read longer words. And so we're going to practice that on our worksheet today.